What's going on, guys? And finally, welcome back. It's good to be back as we enter an October Snapchat, nearly a month later for myself, Alex. And it's amazing to be back together. We talked pretty much for the first time, like where we usually talk nearly every day, for like a month catch up. Just was it yesterday or 2 days ago? And so now this is our first like proper time together in over a month.
I know, and it's funny because like even just before the Snapchat, we're like, let's save the catch up for the Snapchat too, right? Like we wanted to kind of save like the all the discussions about like what's been going on in your life as well. But yeah, dude, it's been crazy. Cozy fell in an actual real black hole. And it's called life.
It's dude, in every which way. Listen, I like to think of us as the Infinity Stones, right? Like separate, we're still powerful. We can still do things, you know. You're carrying the torch of the chat. It's going amazing. Maybe it'll be a dab, but together, man, it's inevitable. Number one, but it's also we're unstoppable. That's how I like to think about it. But yes, man, it's been crazy. It's been a good guys. It's been so wild. I would say for like when my first son was born, Snap came out. That was its own thing, and figuring out your first kid is a whole nother aspect of life. And then your second, it's like. It feels like you like prestiged, you know, like in like an old video. It's like you go back through it, but it's like harder. And so it's brought its own challenges. And really, for the first time, I would say truly my first like true disconnect from being in content creation for the most part of all kind. I mean, I can't remember. I mean, it's been over 6-7 years, Alex, since I've posted the amount I've posted. I mean, on my Rivals channel, outside of just season like easy reaction stuff, it's like 6 videos since July something. On this side, it's the Snapchat. It's great. It feels so weird, and the only thing keeping me alive is casting. And so it's been fun, but really good, man, to just disconnect and go through what is the second time of being a new dad.
And you know what? Those are important moments that you have to cherish. You have to actually be present for as well. So I'm proud that you prioritized your family, because that is the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, we're always here for you to come back, continue the Snapchat, continue this legacy we've built together. But your family needs you right now, buddy, and you made the right choice. And I'm just happy to have a chance to catch up with you today.
Dude, I don't know. I forgot the movie, but when the guy like shows his tattoo and he's like, This is your home. This is my home. But just what a legend holding down the fort. Having the guest on has been cool, man. You're like Jimmy Fallon over here, but on the Snapchat with guests and having it come together. And man, today's episode is gonna be wild for a lot of reasons. Us just catching up, going through, catching up on life, catching up on September season, October. I know nothing. I mean, we gave our star ratings in September. I don't even know the cards for this month, the Hoard mechanics. So I'm excited to like kind of like go and walk through it as the viewer would on their first kind of approach of hearing it. And that's going to be just crazy to hear about some of the updates in the state of the game. Outside of last month, it just doesn't happen much where I'm, truly not able to grasp things that probably have changed massively. OTAs, no idea, bro. Like no idea. Truly excited to hear about it, man. But how have you been? How's everything going on your side?
Oh, I've been good. I mean, it's been busy, back to school. Kids are starting school as well. I only have one kid in daycare now. So it's like very hectic, like drop-offs, pickups, all that type of stuff. I've joked about it on a couple different videos. Like my kids, they're in all different sports. And we try to have them, like, if they want to do 2 things, that's okay. We try to cut it off there because we're just ferrying kids around all day long. It's near impossible to do anything, to the point there's sometimes weekends where like my dad has to take, the boys to hockey while I take my daughter to a soccer tournament, while my wife takes the little one to swimming lessons. And it's like crazy that we have to, go different spots and everything like that. But it's worth it. Like the family time is so much worth it. And I've been kind of doing things a little differently in Snap. I've been trying to play more for pure enjoyment, because I think that a lot of people are at the point where like, yeah, you can get to infinite, you can do all that stuff, but are you having fun? That's what keeps you in the game. And so that's what I've been focusing on. And thankfully, we've had some good kind of, new limited time game modes come back. They completely redid Deadpool's Diner. It was a breath of fresh air. And those types of things have kept me engaged so far outside of what like a regular grind on the ladder would, you know what I mean? So I'm starting to find like small ways to continue loving Marvel Snap that doesn't just incorporate me grinding the ladder and stuff. And they're doing a good job with the game modes, and I hope that continues this month as well with Grand Arena coming back, which I'm super excited for. And I did like Sanctum Showdown because it gave a chance for like the Guardians to have an impact and stuff. So yeah, I'm liking where Snap is right now, and I'm having fun with it. And yeah, I don't know what else to say other than I just hope they continue on this path of like, engaging players in a rewarding way.
How has been the not the reaction to it, but how has like the community been with it in general? Has there been anything anything major, I guess, to announce over the last 3-4 weeks? My kid's out, like 2 weeks, 3.5 weeks, somewhere in there, 3 weeks. So
there's a couple things. Yeah, I think the big thing was that Deadpool's Diner was incredibly generous.
Yeah, I did see that. A lot of tweets on that.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm glad they did that. Complete polar opposite to what was, the Kid Omega situation, to the point where it seemed like some intern literally did bad math. There's no way this was on purpose. Like it made no sense to be giving away borders the way they did. But if you were active in Marvel Snap and playing, then you deserve the reward there, because there's nothing more awesome than kind of decking out your favorite deck with literally a set of 12 borders that you got for free, right? So that's fantastic. Other than that, they are making some changes. They did do the super premium season pass. That was relatively controversial, I would say, but now it at least releases into tokens availability right away. So if you do spend the extra $10 in the season pass, you get a variant, and then of course you unlock the base card as well. So I mean, they've been making some steady progress towards like trying to make the game modes better too. I'm hoping to see, Grand Arena, which I already thought was awesome. I'm hoping to see like that's what that second iteration looks like and how it can improve on it. And again, even with Sanctum Showdown, I'm hoping that they've made some improvements as well. But yeah, generally speaking, it's been relatively quiet from the controversy front from Snap. Unless I'm forgetting something, in the comments, let us know. I'm definitely forgetting something. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. But generally speaking, yeah, I've been having fun. The big news pulse around Deadpool's Diner was positive, which is a nice breath of fresh air, to be honest with you.
Well, dude, before we jump into the full cozy catch up of September, a couple of things. First of all, about being a new dad, I plan on only having 2. So this is I'm done. I'm not gonna pull what some like to say the Alex coach. I'm not gonna go at 17 kids. I draw a line at 2 and feel good about it. But dude, it's like, when you see, like, I don't know, it's like someone from college and they stayed up so late for their midterms. Like, it's like, life's really hard. I stayed up. I got no sleep. And you just kind of look at them and you're like, my sweet summer puppy. Like, you just hold on to it. And not to say that I'm a big person behind, like, no matter what phase of life you're going in right now, it's hard for you. That doesn't change, right? It can be hard for you as a person if you're in college listening to this. But as you get older, that is the thing that comes, right? It's like, oh, wow, perspective is everything, especially you find out what you're capable of. That's really what it comes down to. You find out what you're capable of or what you're not capable of. And I always just, I'm stopping at 2, but I can still continue to form more and more respect for how many you've had. And I know it's like, your wife helps. I get that. But brother, I've stitched together like 2.5 hours of sleep last night. And it's not even 2.5 hours straight. It's 2.5 hours like over the course of the night. And like, I'm a functioning adult. I for sure should not operate a vehicle right now. Like, there's no question about that. I could probably drive better in college after like 20 deep. But it's like, dude, I'm at like today I was like talking to my wife about where my keys were in my car, man. And I was like, I swore I put them in. We're both talking to each other, looking at each other 10 minutes out, talking where I'm holding the keys. It took me 4 minutes to realize I'm holding the keys and I need help, Alex. I need help. That is how do you do it? Because I'm like 2 weeks in, I'm dying.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, you sent me a picture with the family. It was absolutely beautiful, and my wife was looking at it with me, and she's like, "Oh, I want another one." I'm like, "Cozy."
That's what it does, dude. Dude, that's why I'm gonna go snip, snap, and but it's reversible, so I guess. Damn it. I don't know. I think my wife's done too, though.
When you said that, I don't want to make a joke of this, but honestly, the way you said that reminded me of Michael Scott. Do you know what it's like?
Dude, that's what I was quoting.
Hysterectomies reversed, back and forth, snip, snap, snip, snap.
Yeah, D, what for? Suck the base out on a man.
Yeah, look at what was the line? Look at what you made me do to this plasma TV. Or dude, what was it? I don't remember. That's one of the best scenes. Pops
right on the wall. Dude, I know. I remember watching the bloopers on that, and they could not keep their crap together. Like, they were trying so hard to not laugh over and over. Man, that's a show that I don't think it could ever air again because of just a lot of what it was based around, I guess, is not appropriate today, right? But it was such a goated show that I feel like it will never have something like it. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like it was so big. You could be at like the water cooler with someone you had no idea what to talk about, and you're like, damn, I guess I'll bring up The Office. Because like, people knew no matter who you were. I don't know if we'll get a show like that again.
When I was on the flight to PAX Seattle, I was watching The Office like on my phone because it was like one of those things where like they had Wi-Fi in the plane to like access their movie network or whatever. So I was watching The Office, and I was watching the episode where it was like the day where Michael gets in trouble and he has to do like the cultural training. It's like one of the first episodes, like the second one or whatever, and everyone puts the hats on with different cultures, right? I was laughing so hard. I could barely breathe, and I was trying not to like annoy the people beside me because they were like not having it. And I was holding a cup of cranberry juice, and I spilt it like all over my Coco Schnutz and pants.
Oh, that's
like,
a bad
was
thing
all
to
over the place.
spill.
I was like, I ruined my pants because I was laughing so hard. I was like shaking my arms.
Oh, it's so good. It is like, what would be what would be another go-to show like that could even compare in your eyes? That's like of that kind of comfort television.
Dragon Ball Z.
Well, yeah, I there's like actions and stuff that I could put there, but I'm trying to like for me, I feel like obviously comfort television is nostalgic first of all, so I guess that doesn't answer that question. But even comedy wise, could you even pull anything together?
You know what? Honestly, you would not sit down and just like binge watch Dragon Ball Z. It's like 276 episodes, I think it is. If I had to pick something like right now to watch, I would say it's like the OG Pokemons. Like I actually still like get like teary-eyed like with the Butterfree stuff, like Bye Bye Butterfree and stuff like that. Like I don't know what it is, like the OG Pokemon, I actually like it better than the newer stuff they've made, even though like, listen, I understand the newer stuff, it looks good and it's like the voice acting's still phenomenal, but there's something beautiful about that little box with the black bars on the side on modern TVs. I just love the OG Pokemon series, and then my kids watch it with me too. It's beautiful.
Well, that's the big ticket. Like my son's still 3, right? So I haven't like dipped into new, like some of the old stuff still because he hasn't grabbed his head around it. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think like for me, like you've seen How I Met Your Mother. Yeah, have you watched it?
Oh man, no, I haven't.
So it's one of those shows that I don't know if it'll ever hold up to what it was when it came out, right? So like when it came out, it was just so good. It was like my number one recommended comedy. Went back, watched it. It's good. Laugh tracks aged poorly to begin with, but in general, it was so well done. But it's like going back and watching Friends. If you missed Friends when it was out, it's ass. I mean, it's just not a good show. But if you watch Friends, it's like a great comfort TV to go back to. So that's what I think. We got really off the beaten path here a little bit. I don't even know how the hell do we even... Oh, vasectomies. That's how...
That's how it started. Yes.
Yeah, we talked about vasectomies. But yeah, man, it's been a fun era. It's been a very challenging era in a great way, and you know, a lot of my job has been just making sure my first son is loved so hard right now during, dude, because like it's great. You have a kid. It's like, you know, this is an extreme, but it's like having, you know, you just like bring home a new wife. You're like, hey wife, hey, this is the new wife. I didn't ask you permission. It's gonna be here forever, and I'm gonna give a lot of my attention to it for a while. And you have no say, right? Like that's what's going on through your young kids' minds, and so it's like a weird thing of comfort. And so yeah, man, the last thing on my mind has been video gaming, and really content creation as a whole. It's just not been big. I'm contracted to do casting and stuff, so I've been doing that, which is a blast. I love casting. Yeah, it's like my favorite thing to do now. But you know, we got the finals coming up for Rivals over in Georgia. DreamHack. I've not been to DreamHack before. Have you?
I've never been to DreamHack, but like it was really big in like when I was doing Dota content and stuff like that. Yeah, that's like legit competition. Like DreamHack is a fantastic series for sure. And Georgia that's like down south, right? Is it the Georgia Peach?
Yeah, it's near Florida, like where you were at, kind of, a little north of Florida.
I think I stayed in Georgia at one point. I'm trying to remember the name of the city. Savannah. I stayed in Savannah.
Savannah. What were you doing in Savannah?
I think this was years ago. We drove down to Savannah, Georgia, and stayed there the night before eventually going to Disney. We drove to Disney. This got to be like 8 years ago now. 7 years ago, maybe.
Really? Because you flew to Disney last time when you were a Snap guy.
Yeah, my daughter was just a baby. I think she was like 3, maybe. My wife was pregnant with our second, and we drove down to Florida. We figured we'd save some cash, get the Kia Sorento some kilometers on it. It was fun. I remember we stopped in like Pittsburgh, which was cool. Just like, I remember we stopped because we tried to stop every once in a while where there was like a park that our daughter could play at. And we stopped at this beautiful park in Pittsburgh. I'd have to look it up on like my history on maps or whatever. They had like Dude, you guys do sports so good there. Like this park we pulled up, it was like a complex. There was like 7 baseball diamonds, 4 soccer fields, like 3 football fields. There was climbing gyms everywhere. The climbing gym was like 4 stories high. I was like, what is going on here, man? You guys know how to play hard.
Over at Pittsburgh, man. I don't know a damn thing about Pittsburgh. I'll be honest. I know like the Steelers, and that's it. That's like, and
That's it. Not even the Penguins.
Yeah, a little bit. Of course, I know the Penguins, but By the way, you're a Bills fan, right?
No, okay. So I'm a Bills fan by association. All my friends are Bills fans, and like I like watching the Bills play. Traditionally, when I was growing up, I was always a Miami Dolphins fan because of Ace Ventura.
That's right. We've had this discussion. Go Pats is all I'm going to say to those that know. All right, let's go. Let's get to where we're trying to get to. Right, let's steer the ship away from vasectomies and onto Marvel Snap and the season of the Hoard. Snip Snap, man. Okay, so let's start. I guess the best way to start here, and this graphic might be up there, is one of my favorite seasonal ones. We've got Viv Vision, and you'll have to tell me what we rated these. Man, I Control Alt Deleted made space for RAM. All my memories from last month. I got nothing left. I could not tell you what I did yesterday. But I want to know how these guys ended up, and then we're going to talk about what is... I have not, for the first time, ever looked at the cards coming out. They'll be popping up on screen for the very first time. And to God, so I'm excited to look at what that is and give my fresh ratings. But for this season, Alex, Viv Vision, season pass card, how did it fare out?
So first of all, we gotta clarify a little bit here because the way you phrased all this, people are like, man, Cozy's confused as hell. What Cozy wants to do here is go back through last season's cards to talk about how they're performing and how they ended up doing. Because you said, well, let's talk about the Hoard season that brought up Viv Vision. So you
maybe I said that. Dude, no clue. I was like, hey, Alex, I said my soul needs it. I'm doing the Snapchat this week, no matter what. But I should not be operating a vehicle or camera, guys. So I'm, who knows what shall be said.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, we both came in Viv Vision 5.
Yeah, I'm reading your face. No, I don't think it's a 5. I think that's, dude. Actually, I have no way of gauging how this is. Like 0. I would just have to be like, no, I don't think it's how I thought it was gonna be. Definitely. Okay, so it's way under that. What is it?
They ended up buffing it to a 3/3. If that answers your question.
Oh, immediately.
Not immediately, but before the season ended. Because that's how you sell more season passes. But yeah, so they buffed it to a 3/3. It was underperforming. It was hovering like a mid 50, like not mid 50, like 50% win rate, 51% win rate according to Untap-based statistics. It's definitely a better card at 3/3. It's perhaps not as meta impactful as people would have expected, but it's not a bad card. It just didn't land quite as well as was expected.
Okay, and it just did it not. Did it not have like a good like jack of all trades feel?
It did. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
But it just, as the season went on, just other things kind of just excelled past it.
Can you answer me this? I feel like for so long Snap we had where like the new cards were fun to play with and new and oftentimes like could be meta, but do you feel like right now in the state of it, like the new cards are always going to be kind of in that meta for the most part, and you need to get them? Are older decks phasing out a lot faster?
I don't want to speak on behalf of the design team, but so we can almost hint at like what our conversation around the Hoard's going to be. I think that they're going to be intentionally designing seasons where you definitely want to be involved. Like for instance, and when we talk about the Hoard and Scarlet Spider First Steps, who's not Scarlet Spider, Scarlet Witch First Steps. Oh my gosh, I'm saying the wrong thing. Scarlet Spider Hoard version, Zombie Scarlet Spider, whatever she's called.
Don't even know.
Wow, it took me a lot of tries to say that. She's going to be like a cornerstone card, and the entire season is themed in such a way that it feels like you almost have to invest in the entire thing to get the entire picture. And so missing any individual card might feel difficult. And so that's something that, we might be experiencing moving forward if the Hoard season is any indication of that. In this particular season, though, the cards were much more neutral, I would say. Much more neutral, and they stood on their own merits for the most part. And they tried to attack specific archetypes in a way. Like, for instance, Sparky, which was the super premium season pass card, was very specifically a move card. It was not played anywhere else. It was successful in move. It didn't completely shake up the meta, but it was a good addition to those types of decks ultimately. And that's kind of exactly where we evaluated it. We came in at about 4.5, which is exactly where I think he ultimately landed. But This season with the Hoard, it's way different because the cards are so synergistic, much closer to the First Step season, where all the cards seemed like they had a role to play with each other. Remember how we were saying with the First Step season, we won't really know how powerful Fantasticar is until Invisible Woman First Steps comes out?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
feel like the Hoard season is going to be similar to that.
Which that season saw a lot of success though. So like the Fantastic one. So I'm sure that is a model they're going to continue to repeat, right? I mean, to what I would imagine. Which I don't love, right? I kind of like the independence of each card being its own merit, and then you can find its way in. But it's cool to have one. Like I hope, like I've always liked when like separately they're great, all together they're very good, but separately you can put them in different things and really make it work. So it'd be a bummer if they kind of strive away from that. But okay, so Sparky was decent, or was pretty good, and fit in the move nicely. 1, 2, we said what did we give her?
Moira X, I don't have a rating number for you. I think it was one of the ones I forgot to like force you to rate. I gave it a 3, and I think it. How do you think it performed? Sorry, Moira X. When this card's destroyed, get a copy of your opening hand.
When it's destroyed, I feel like it's pretty. I feel like it's pretty good. Although we're on a tangent. Okay, sorry. I did see. I don't know where I saw this, and I was like, I swear I was at the hospital. When did they nuke all of the tech cards? Like I thought I saw it, but then I was like, I don't even know if this is real because I saw like Shang-Chi's dead. I'm like, what do you mean? And then I like read a Killmonger text. I'm like, the hell is this? What happened?
Yeah, so they basically neutered a whole bunch of the most popular tech cards. Basically everything except for Mobius and Mobius. They just nerfed everything. Man, to bring it all back is difficult. Like they basically made Red Guardian a 3-0. Shang-Chi only destroyed a single card and was a 4-2. Enchantress was a 5-8, but that ended up staying because it was more like a buff. They moved Negasonic to 4-5. Killmonger only destroyed 1-drops in his lane.
I hate that.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. It was like there was a lot. There was a bunch of changes, and it was basically like they neutered all the tech cards to see what would happen, and then kept some of the changes to get some like.
Is it still that way?
Shang-Chi still remains only destroy 1 card, but it got its power back. It's still a 4-3. Enchantress remained at a 5-8, and Negasonic remained nerfed at 4-5.
And is Killmonger still the same? Because I hate that.
Killmonger was reverted back.
Okay, that's like stripping his identity a bit. The other ones I think is cool to experiment with it. Overall, was it fun? Was it just like a playground? Like just would it feel like a game mode? I mean, like with high-powered decks just dominating, or
it felt like an imbalance patch, like those X-Men style imbalance patches. And I was for it because if Second Dinner wanted to get some stats around whether or not nuking tech cards made a difference to people's enjoyment of the game or specific win rates of specific decks, like they have a sample size of data now. Like, oh, does Zoo become unstoppable if Killmonger is neutered? Right? They have a data set they can kind of point to now. So
that's cool idea.
If anything, for that, I'm glad they did it.
I like that idea. I thought of it because when this is destroyed, and then I was like, Killmonger. Oh wait, so I was putting it together there. That's kind of how we got on that tangent. Sorry to have it unorganized a bit, but yeah, I see this being pretty cool. I mean, did it come down to the opening hand sometimes where like you were getting stuff that you just didn't need again, but most of the time in the decks that she's played in, it just worked out well?
So it primarily was only played in like legit destroy, and it was actually, I'll be honest with you, Cozy, it's my favorite card of the season.
Oh, nice.
This is by far my favorite card, by far. And I've never been traditionally a destroy player. Like I like to experiment with other things. Destroy is just not an archetype that I find myself drawn to often. This completely changed that. This was such a high effort designed card. Its animations were fantastic. The way it plays is fantastic. And it has a lot of snap equity because if you copy deaths, right? Like you get multiple deaths you get to play down alongside a null on turn 6. Like it's kind of crazy what this card can do. And it fits so naturally in what you're doing in Destroy anyways. Honestly, this is my favorite card of the season. Not even close.
Nice. I remember talking about this card. I remember actually talking about Death on that and how I thought it would be interesting in that whole like old Death Zoo deck too back in the day. Interesting though, and how Killmonger going out, did that affect it at all? And then it came back and or did it just not play around Killmonger that much? You just use the other stuff?
It definitely disappeared when Killmonger was no longer relevant.
Okay.
Yeah, I never played it when Killmonger was nerfed.
So after, I don't even know if we're going in exact order of when these cards came out. But after her next card, I do have on the list here. Let me pull it up, Alex. Actually, you can just, here it is. Bastion. How was this guy? 4-3 on reveal. Add copies of your other cards here to your hand. Set their how was it in Cerebro? How was it in general?
He was fun in Cerebro. He didn't quite do as much as I was expecting, to be honest with you. On this particular card, you and I came in at, so I came in at 3, you came in at 4. I think it was probably at the 3.5 range, 3 range. I think it's a fine card. I don't think it's a problematic card. I don't think it was broken. I don't think it was bad. It's just kind of expensive and slow to some degree. But what it was able to do in Cerebro 3 was phenomenal. And if you think about it, a lot of the Victoria hand shells do like this type of card as well. Has it taken the world by storm? Not necessarily. And currently the top place where it's seeing play is actually unironically the Bullseye base shells, because you can copy the Bullseye, you can copy the Morbius, like you can copy the Meek or whatever, and then you could blow things up. It's kind of interesting what it can do in those types of shells, and that's currently where it's seeing play.
Did you ever finish X-Men 97? Are you still, is that one of the series you're still slow burning through, Alex?
I'm not done the last 2 episodes since the last time we spoke about this. I have to finish it.
Have you watched Inception?
What do you think?
I hate you. I don't want to be here anymore. Hold on, let me continue. How far are you? I'm going through all the things I remember you like do. How far did you make it through Oblivion's remaster?
I have not played since I exited the sewers.
Expedition 33.
I finished Expedition 33.
Okay, I'm proud of that one. I would have been mad. That was the one I was going to probably be most mad at. I
had to, though. That game was so good.
Daredevil?
That game was so incredible.
Daredevil?
I haven't finished it since we finished season 2 and then never went back to it.
Okay. Yeah. You're doing about where I thought.
Dude, there's no time. Like it's kind of sad. Like I don't play anything at all. Like I don't do anything. The only thing that like I'm getting derailed with is if I have like any free time. Okay, can I tell you something? Like this is really stupid. I'm addicted really hard to Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and 3.
Really?
Like I'm not joking. Like the old school from like 1996 Heroes of Might and Magic.
Is it because is it just comfort?
Yeah. It's like I just love playing it so much, and I've been laying in bed with it on my chest, the laptop on my chest, playing Heroes 2, and I love it. It's from 1996. The graphics are terrible, but it's so nostalgic for me. Dude. And then I've been playing Heroes 3 as well, which is nice.
I want to hear from our viewers. Comment down below, like, what is your most nostalgic game, show, whatnot? Because it's so strong, right? So strong that like companies will use it to their advantage sometimes, but also like. Dude, I'm not a TikToker. I don't even know. I don't think people use that as a verb. I'm not like a short guy. I just don't watch shorts. Never have. Never. That's why I don't make them. It's because I don't watch them. So I don't know how to like produce them because I don't consume them because I'm just addicted. Like I know I'll be addicted to whatever I watch because that's how it works, right? But somehow I did like stumble upon this like nostalgic train of them, and it like was showing you like 1990s Toys R Us, whatever. It was like it was one of those. It was like just boosting you. Man, I've never felt. It's like I just did a drug, man. I felt amazing. I was like going through the 90s and just like, or even I think it was showing like top 10 old commercials from like 1999 to 2002 or something. And it just like coming on the screen. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I forgot. Like, yes, this was on at 2 a.m. Michael Bolton screaming in the thing. Like, it's just such a powerful thing, man. And I think I find my time now being around nostalgia as well, most of the time.
Yeah, and for me, it's a lot of theme songs that I hear that bring me back in time. Like, can you just imagine in your head like the Goosebumps theme song?
Oh yeah, oh for sure, man. Goosebumps, the books, even like just like. Reading a good goose. I think that was like the last book I've read, man. But like I absolutely. There's like nostalgia gaming for me. That's why RuneScape hits so hard. Like that's my nostalgia. That's why it does so well. You know, old school RuneScape is on top right now because it's such a nostalgic experience. Wow, somewhat, but it's just like show wise. That's why comfort shows are easy too because like it gives you something to watch, but it's like nothing that gonna blow you away. I'm trying to any other. What made you get back into that? Like, what made you stumble upon that?
So, it sounds silly, but I was just looking at like my good old games library because I have a pretty big library of like games that I get on GOG.com. Like, it's not sponsored or anything, but it's like it's like they kind of DRM free, lots of classic stuff. And I was looking for a game called Caesar 3 that my brother and I used to play. It's like Sim City except Rome.
Okay.
And I was trying to find that one because I just wanted to check it out. And then I came across, I'm like, oh yeah, Heroes of Might and Magic. Like I totally forgot about that. And I started playing it and I was like, oh my gosh, like I forgot how much I love this. And I started playing the second one because it was my favorite. And I started playing the third one. And then I just so happened to find out that in 2025, they are planning on releasing a new updated version called oh man, I can't remember what it's called. It's called like Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era, I think it's called Olden Era, and it's supposed to be releasing anytime now. And I was like, I can't believe this. They're releasing the first game in like a decade, and I'm getting head over heels for the classics from like the 90s. Like it couldn't have been more perfect timing. So yeah, now I'm all in. I'm super hyped up.
So we're gonna bring up what we have here is a 90s show tier list. And we're going to pop up only a few of them in here as we weave this in between cards, talking about nostalgia. I have a feeling that, well, I was going to say that they don't have some of these shows in Canada, but if I'm being honest, I feel like you're going to say you've never heard of this, and all the Canadians down in the comments going to be like, we've had this forever, Alex. I don't know what you're doing. As there's too many to pull from in here. Like you, because I don't know exactly, because we're close to get, like you watched just pulling one out, like Dexter's Lab, right? Like you know what this is, yeah?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but I was still a little too old for that one by the time it was popular.
So you're a little too old. So like you're more like this is
like
90s,
Captain
though.
Planet right there is insane. Like I can't believe I almost forgot about Captain Planet.
Where's Captain Planet?
Straight up from where you are. It's like the top right beside the Simpsons right there. Is
Oh
that not
my
Captain
gosh.
Planet?
This SOB, dude. This guy sucked. No, I watched Captain Planet though. I watched a little. What were their superpowers? Just like recycling? Like what did they do? I forgot. Like I remember, I watched a good amount of it, but I couldn't tell you the plot.
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet. I think that's just like everyone's thing, and He-Man, obviously. But what do they do? You take.
I don't remember.
Clearly,
man.
the show wasn't goated if we can't even remember the plot of Captain Planet.
But also keep in mind, like we're talking about what 35 years ago now. For me, like I was watching some of this stuff. OG
like Doug,
Sonic is awesome. Oh, Doug.
Like I could
Doug's
tell you,
hilarious.
Doug, like not Skeeter. Was it Eric? Who's the green POS? What was his name?
Man, I don't remember.
This guy with the green hair. This guy sucked. And then Patty Mayonnaise was his boo, his main squeeze. Skeeter was cool. He was good. This was not D, by the way. I'm not putting these like this is definitely down here. Alex doesn't even know half these shows. For those that are watching, I would put Dexter in A tier. Doug was good. I think Doug was like I don't know if I would watch it if it was good, but I wasn't like, man, Doug slaps.
Yeah,
Personally.
like I used to watch Doug. I thought it was okay, but I didn't love it.
theme
Like
song was
obviously X-Men, the animated series is S tier.
Noted.
That was unbelievable. I loved it. I
Dude,
know that, like
so
Family Guy, I think he has to go into S tier as well. Like I think like that era of like comedy animation was so good.
Dude, I'm gonna pull stuff like I know you haven't seen, like Freakazoid. Did you know what Freakazoid is?
I vaguely remember the theme song, but I couldn't tell you a thing about it.
I don't
the
think
theme song is like silly, right?
I remember Freakazoid very well. Like when WB had its era, WB used to slap, dude. Like Pokemon, all that ran on Animaniacs, which was another like
there was a game too, Animaniacs.
on Sega. I played on Sega, I think. Sega Genesis. The Animaniacs.
I had a Sega too. Maybe it was then.
I think it was on Sega. It was a go-to game. It was a good game too. Angry Beavers. You F with the Beavers?
Angry Beavers. What the?
Dude, this is like the most
that.
Canadian show I could think of.
Yeah, it sounds Canadian, but that's got to be some like American Southwest type stuff. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, shout out for those that know Angry Beavers. We're hitting somebody that was born in the 2000s that are gonna have no idea like half the show. Yeah, Cat Dog. Yeah.
I don't remember Cat Dog.
Oh, Alex. Okay, so I have to keep going way back here for you to even to be in the same world as you. We're in the world of
the
Carmen
Mighty Ducks, though. Let's go. I remember watching the Mighty Ducks.
Oh yeah, you're a hockey guy. You have to know Mighty Ducks. You're seeing things that I'm not, and when I try to find it in this abyss, there's so many more that people can even see on here. There's so many on here, dude. Like I didn't even know half these were shows.
Yeah, I remember a lot of these, to be honest with you, and it's like, but I don't remember much about them. Like right at the bottom, it was Life with Louie. I remember that one as well. Sonic. I remember Madeline.
Yeah. Oh yeah. With next, Franklin too. This little turtle taught me everything.
I had a book called Franklin Fibs. It was about lying, and like my parents read it to me and told me like you're not supposed to lie. I remember all about it. Yeah, I used to have his books.
Franklin taught me how to have protected sex. Like the whole thing was from Franklin. I remember.
That was part of it,
yeah, that was his no, but the good lessons came from there. I don't know who Kipper is. I think this is a made up. This is a plant. I don't think Kipper exists. If you know what Kipper is, let me know. But yeah, this show, I like it would, I would see it. I can't tell you I ever gave a damn. Oh, hey, Johnny Bravo, man. Hey.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo was funny, but like I feel like I never actually paid attention to it. Like I didn't follow it.
No, it was great, man. It was so great. It was goated. There's oh man, the episode where he it's like the Twilight Zone. He's on a plane. It's that I could go back and watch the show right now. I'm telling you, with confidence.
Really?
That's one that I could go back to and feel good about watching. We'll pick like 2 more and then we'll move on. What is this show?
Earthworm Jim I used to play all the time on my Sega.
I know, kablam. Yes, Earthworm Jim was sick. I loved that game. I don't know again if I could tell you the plot of it, but I remember running as him.
Bro, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, one of my favorite NES games.
Yeah, another good banger, especially in the video. I love how half these back when bro, do you remember they used to make like TV and movie games and they used to slap, right? Then they used to be insanely hard. And then in like 2000, they were like the worst genre of game you could possibly buy. Like they became such instant trash that you knew not to get them. Like your grandma would buy you, like Star Wars Episode 2. Actually, that game was good, but they'd buy you some random movie game, and it was just ass.
Yeah, that was often the case. I guess some exceptions to that was like GoldenEye on N64 based on a movie.
That was was in the goated age, yeah.
Yeah, then you had Star Wars Pod Racer on N64, which is awesome too.
That was a good one too. Did you watch Reese's School's Out?
No, I don't. That doesn't look familiar to me.
Yeah. Oh, these are some. Okay, we're gonna have to revisit this. It's too good not to. So, last few cards this month. Thank you guys for coming to our TED Talk. Last few cards of this month, we had Warlock as well. Jocasta. How's Jocasta? How did this end up being with the other cards that you could activate again?
Jocasta's good. I think that it made the kind of like that end of turn type stuff really pop the hell off. There's no joke when you use Jocasta. I think that Jocasta's ability to be used on like earlier turns, activate stuff on turn 6 is pretty solid. It basically is a prodigy that you have more control over for those types of decks. And it's going to age like fine wine because of the fact that every single activate that gets released is going to be able to potentially interact with Jocasta. Yeah, this is a good card.
Okay. Yeah. It did make activate have anything like extremely new come from it?
Nothing necessarily new. I tried to do some fancy stuff with Cerebro 3 because you could have like Black Widow on turn 3 and then turn 4 play Jocasta and you activate the Widow's Kiss, and then turn 5 you play down Omega Sentinel and you activate Jocasta, so then you pew shoot another Widow's Bite, and then on turn 6 you can also pew again. That was a pretty cool combo, but like it's too draw dependent. But Jocasta ended up being really good in the end of turn stuff.
And also fun though.
Yeah, I like it. I think Jocasta, if you have it, you're gonna enjoy it.
Jim Hammond, Human Torch. At the start of each turn, +1 power for each bonus energy you have. Yeah, how did this fare in the decks that we thought it would go in?
You know what? Honestly, he was okay. Like he put up decent power, but literally only in Fallen 1 decks because he ended up working with Fallen 1. He ended up seeing Fallen 1 set.
Yeah,
energy
we were questioning about that. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So that ended up working, and that was like his only home at all. And those decks were so combo centric, and the surprise factor was, oh, did they seriously just play Black Panther Zola on turn like the last turn of the game? How did they possibly even do that? Jim Hammond wasn't really a factor there. He wasn't the reason why you won. As we suspected, this card was Flaming Fecal Matter.
You were pretty high up on Omega Sentinel. How did that end up going, especially coming out when it came out with all the tech stuff?
Yeah, I really liked it. I still think it's a cool card. The toxic version of C3 has not performed well because you could do like C3 with like Scorpion, Diamondback, Omega Sentinel, etc., right? And try to like take advantage of those lines. It didn't quite pop off the way I was hoping it would, but Omega Sentinel I think is an absolutely fair card, especially with what's happened with Shang-Chi. This is a guaranteed -7 hit on something, where Shang-Chi can still whiff on things, right? So I like it. I think Omega Sentinel is a fair card.
It's coming back to my little memory that is existent at this point, but I don't think I've successfully gaslit you more than telling you this was Nebula and Claw's child.
Oh my God, dude, I believed you. I actually believed you.
Because
it looks exactly like that.
The comments believed that I was not even trying to troll you too. They thought I was just actually like in it to do. I was proud of myself too. I was like, I'm gonna just
sold
keep
it so hard.
I did. I felt, and then when I put it as a comment, and someone, and then you said so. You're like, what? That was how you found out. I felt good. It actually gave me some life. So is this something you put in decks now or no?
Not lately, no. But I do like the card.
We all know Awesome Andy turned out really good.
Yeah, he was fantastic. They buffed him to a 2/2. He still sucks.
Yeah, we knew he was gonna get buffed, and we knew he'd still suck. How did this kind of fare out? Because everyone got it, or a lot of people got it because it was a good time to play Deadpool's Diner. But did it end up being good?
Danger's okay, I think. There's some like destroy everything style decks that are like not necessarily meta, but people are having fun with. I think that it probably didn't see as much testing as it should have. I think the buff based decks are probably decent, and this could have legitimately gone in there, especially with Jocasta coming out as well. You have a very natural curve there. It just didn't see much play. I think this is probably one of the underutilized cards. It's probably better than people are giving it credit for.
It sounds like this whole month wasn't that great, dude. It sounds like compared to seasons prior, I haven't had you say like, God, this card is it. But we haven't gotten a Warlock.
Yeah. It underperformed. It didn't do what I wanted it to, which is a shame because I was excited for it. But you know what killed Warlock? I'll tell you what it was. Warlock would incidentally hit She-Hulk based on the way the skip happened. So you float your energy.
Oh, okay.
Warlock would pump the She-Hulk with hits, and then She-Hulk would float anyways. If it was the other way around and it avoided the She-Hulk, it would set up better lines for high Evo. It still did some cool stuff. It wasn't a bad card. It just wasn't as good as we were hoping because it looked like She-Hulk was wasting like 2 or 3 of the procs, and it was a little frustrating.
That stinks, man. Yeah, because that was definitely like where it was going to perform. And I think I gave it a high rating at that point for sure because I thought that was going to cook in that one specific deck with even magic and stuff back into it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle villain. How did they do?
This dude's irrelevant. Like, honestly, I did not play a single game with him. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't play a single game with him, even when Jocasta was popping off. I don't think anyone played him. I never saw him once.
I missed a good month. I like both casually and professionally.
I think you chose the correct month to peace out on.
Peace out. Have the I'm almost out of the darkness. Like, dude, I don't remember anything from my first son's year. Like, I would say like the first 3 months or 4 months of him being alive. There's no way. I blacked out, bro. Like, you just try to survive, right? So I'm in that era right now, but it was the same for you, no? Right? Like, you just survive it. So I feel like that I'm still in that. Like, I won't remember this. No way.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like you get so used to being tired, it's just your new normal. And I noticed this like when I travel a little bit because we do stuff for work and stuff, and I'll be in a hotel by myself and I'll sleep for like 5 hours and I'll wake up and I'll be like, whoa, I slept 5 hours without interruptions and I feel like a new person. I feel like a different human being. Like I feel like I'm completely energized. It's bizarre. Like my normal is so just like worn down that my actual normal, I feel like I'm on cloud 9.
Yeah, dude. And again, this is one Matt with 2 kids. I can't process with what you have. So this is the whole season as a whole. I mean, what would you give it 1 through 5? All the cards.
Like as a whole, the season didn't feel great. I think it was heavily propped up by Moira. I think Moira was a phenomenally well-designed card. Like Second Dinner, hats off to you guys. Moira cooked. It was great. Everything about it. I think Viv Vision buffing it was probably prudent. I think it was the right call to make. They also buffed it while it was still available in the season pass, so they didn't like. I think that was fair the way they handled Viv Vision. And moving it to a 3/3, I think is like probably the most you can do without it feeling completely overbearing. But everything else kind of felt uninspired. It was a little unfortunate that Jocasta's primary usage was just amplifying what already was a meta dominant deck. But overall, I think the season was maybe serviceable and not as exciting as we would have hoped.
Well, guys, we move on to October and the Hoard season, and I'm like gassed up, dude, because I know nothing, and I don't think ever like I know typically me and you will at least read the card. It'll come up. We'll give our star rating. We typically don't think about the star rating too much going into it, but we at least know the card going in. Nothing, man. I know nothing. Excited for it. So I'll give my guess. You'll give yours. I guess before we hop into it, and for those that want to know too, this month on the chat, what it's saying right there, and what we want to talk about with that briefly is, I mean, Alex and I, we we're too close of friends not to do the show anyway. And as soon as I'm out of the chapter I'm in, especially once not only as my second grows older, but at the end of October is my end of what I've been signed on for Rivals. So I'm going to Georgia doing that thing, and then I'm effectively done casting for a little bit for them, at least in what has been this Ignite series. So it's opening up my time a lot. Super excited for that. So when I get back from all of that and here to help out my wife, I will still be gone a good amount in the meantime, few weeks more, as Alex finds great guests and fill-ins. I could jump in. We'll see how that goes. But for the most part, we'll have guests for a couple more. And then when I get back there and we get things launching here in a few weeks, we have a lot of cool things to talk about, a lot of exciting things, and kind of how we want to do the show moving forward. And you should expect it every week. Once again, I'll be back, and we got, back to our roots, Alex, right? And so, more on that in a bit. No.
Yeah, I mean, and we're going to try to figure out how we can make the Snapchat the best it can be. I think that, given the opportunity, I think that you and I might take a chance to see if we can change the format a little bit, see if we can improve it, make it more fun, more interesting. And we're going to have those discussions. And again, everything that we decide or do is going to be in benefit to you guys so that we can try to produce the best possible show moving forward for you guys. And with Cozy taking some time off to be with his family and finish up his contractual obligations, it's a great time to do a bit of a reset too, right? So I'm actually looking forward to having those conversations with you and showing what we come up with.
Yeah, and it's no secret that, I would say a good chunk of our audience play Snap, and a good chunk of our audience also doesn't even play it anymore. They're still interested in almost the nostalgic nature of it, but then they also just love the show and what we've been going on near 3 years now. And so we're finding this beautiful mix between all of it. Can't wait to kind of continue to talk about that as we will unveil it. But let's go to talk about October and what we've got this month. You're gonna have to tell me the order, and I'll have to find the cards again. I just did a massive download, so I have all of them here ready to throw up. So the first one is the Scarlet Witch one. Or is it the Hoard one?
So she's going to be the premium season pass, like the standard season pass.
Okay,
Headpool's the super premium season pass. So yeah, let's start with Zombie Scarlet Witch.
So guys, this is a 3/2, great art. After you play a card here, Hoard +2. So I have no idea what Hoard is. Let's go ahead and break that down. What is Hoard, Alex?
So basically, Hoard is whenever you play a card that has Hoard or you generate effect that has Hoard, a zombie Hoard is going to be generated on another location. So one of the locations will get a random Hoard, and what it basically is it's a unit that gains power as you add plus Hoard to it, with various effects from various cards, including Scarlet Witch. So yeah,
so you create particularly powerful. So with the +2 here, give the example with that much power on another location. If you have one already, give it that much power instead. So do you continue to create them, or is it just one getting that power?
It's one, and it increases with power every single time you add Hoard to it.
Nice. Okay, so for instance, this would put a +2 Hoard on a random location.
Yes. So if you don't have a Hoard, it would be at 2. If you already had a Hoard, it would gain +2.
Got it. Okay, awesome. So this is your base Hoard card. After you play it, card here, Hoard +2. This is going to help kind of feed into it. So essentially, you can look at this as added power, but also an added card into that lane that you don't have to play. So you're just getting free power in that location.
Yes, and it's important to also note that the Hoard text stated that it goes into another location. So it'll go into another location that the card generating it does not occupy.
Okay.
Kind of an important note.
That's cool. So you can fit into locations that are hard to reach. You can continue to build the location that you're on, and into turns are really cool. You can do some good pop-off moments on T6, whatever, at least with this card. Okay, so after you play a card here, is it so you're essentially getting up to potentially 6 of Hoard power?
You're getting a lot. And the other thing worth mentioning here is that some of the cards you can play on top of Zombie Scarlet Witch will also give plus power to Hoard. So you get to double dip on the effect. And as we go through the other cards, you'll see that you are able to chain these effects together to generally make absolutely massive Hoards. And I do not think that the Hoard power is going to be anything to scoff at. It's going to be Sean-cheatable. It's going to be big. So regularly big.
So this is effectively, if you're playing all the stuff in the lane, this is just a 3/8.
Kind of. But the thing is you're going to want to do stuff that the way I see it, okay, so it is essentially the Hope Summers of Hoard, right?
Yeah.
You have Hope Summers, you constantly play into it. If you think about that in the same lines, then you can see what Zombie Scarlet Witch is going to do for this archetype. Now, with that being said, you might think, oh, what about Kitty Pryde? Could you play Kitty Pryde in this? There's a good chance that like Silky Smooth style decks will operate well with the Hoard mechanic, because you get to play cards into Zombie Scarlet Witch and then move them out, right? You get to move them out, you get to move the Jeffs out, you get to move out the Spider-Mans, you maybe even something like a Mercury. There's a lot of opportunities to generate the power and continue playing there. However, there are so many ways to generate massive hordes. And as we go through the rest of the cards, it's going to be evident, to the point that one of the concerns I have is that, so first of all, the Season Pass has always been one of the best opportunities to get value from Marvel Snap. However, I'm worried that this entire season is going to be difficult for you to participate in if you don't have Zombie Scarlet Witch, because it feels like such a cornerstone piece to the puzzle for Hoard. I wonder if like this is one of those seasons where it's like you're either in or you're out. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have Zombie Scarlet Witch and you start skipping others' Hoard cards, I don't know if you'll ever be able to truly build a competitive Hoard deck. There's a couple cards that work independently, and we'll talk about them, but I think this might be such a cornerstone piece. I don't know. It begs the question as to whether or not we should have Season Pass cards that are all in or all out like this, because it kind of feels like that.
Yeah. So it's actually makes it really hard to rank, not knowing what any of the other ones do, because I don't know the importance of like the cornerstone of it. But even with it just at its base value being up to a 3/8, and typically like when you say like, oh, it's a 3/8, but no, you have to play another card worth energy, so it's not worth that. Well, this is, you're gonna be playing cards, so you're just getting up to 8 power with this no matter what. And it sounds like you could boost it past that. So is this the 5 or what?
I would not give this a 5, but I definitely think it's in the 4 range. I think this is going to be a cornerstone card. I think it's going to be a good card. And I think it's statted in such a way where if you're going to utilize Hoard, now Hoard has its risks, right? Like it's going to be susceptible to Shun-Chi. It's going to be susceptible to the likes of something like a Shadow King. I forgot who he was for a second, right? It's going to get big. Like the numbers on it are going to be big. And so as a result, I think that this is going to be a good card and what is going to be a strong archetype. And because of the thematicness of the zombie Halloween thing, just think about it. Halloween's what? It's October 31st. I don't know why I had to think so hard about that. I don't think they're nerfing this stuff. Like, I think they want zombies to be cool at least until Halloween. I think that the power levels on these cards are relatively high, and I would be surprised if they underperform.
Okay. All right. What is the next card that comes out so we can continue to see it?
Probably Headpool is going to be the one you'd want to discuss, because that's going to be the super premium season pass. So for the extra $10 in the season pass, you get the variant that also unlocks the base card. And that's going to be Headpool.
When this is destroyed, it's a 1/1. When this is destroyed, return it to your hand. Then give all cards in your hand +1 power. Interesting. Okay, when this is destroyed, return it to your hand. You can continue to play it, continue to modify it, can help out a number of different cards. That's kind of cool for what the archetype's trying to do.
It's not bad. I think that this might be one of the more overhyped cards of the season. Again, this is my take, and I'm happy to be wrong. I suspect Headpool, like I'm thinking in the 2 range, and not like a low 2, like a 2.5 if I could go there. Again, this is not a bad card, especially when I think that you'll be able to order it in a way where like you destroy Deadpool, Headpool. Deadpool goes back to hand first. Headpool then resolves, pluses the Deadpool that's in your hand, then comes back down for the doubling, right? So there's a way that you can kind of utilize Deadpool and Headpool together to generate some value. The thing is, though, is if you think about how tight those destroy decks are, you're going to have to give up a card like, Hulkbuster, which obviously plays a similar role for what these Deadpool decks are trying to do. You're going to have to give up a card like Wolverine, or you're going to have to give up a card like X-23. These are good cards that you're getting out for the benefit of Headpool. So I wonder if it's worth it, especially when I think about like when I play Moira X, what my closing lines look like. It's not so much buffing the hand. It's the free deaths. It's the massive null. It's the huge Deadpool. And it's not necessarily the incremental +1s. You know what I mean? So I don't know if this is solving a problem for Destroy.
And that's always been the Destroy thing, right? That it's such a hard deck to continue to get new cards in. And even way back when with X-23, it's like, that worked out well because of the curve of it. But like getting X-23 late, you could still make it work and you could build that energy into later turns. This would feel one that if you draw it on 4 and you're really needing the next curve to get the deck rolling, it would feel bad. And so Like, you're just not going to get your use out of it. Early play can be fun, and I think there's going to be cards that you can synergize with, obviously, that love the +1 power. But yeah, does the main core shell need it? I can see that. Which, again, the super premium stuff, I'm definitely for these cards not being insane.
Yeah, of course. That's the definition of pay to win. Like, let's be honest with you, right? And we kind of experienced that with Fantasticar, which was the first one, right? It definitely overperformed expectations. With this one here, though, as I said, like, I was wondering, okay, how do I make this work? Because again, listen, I try to make really good, compelling decks on day one. And I was thinking to myself, okay, can I do a Headpool, Sabretooth, Moongirl, Death deck? Does that make sense? Like, does blowing up Sabretooth make any sense with Headpool? I think that might be massive cope, right? So I'm not entirely sure. I think this is one of those things where it's like, I don't know if this card can outcompete an X23, right? And that's where I wonder how viable it is. But we also have another Destroy card we're going to be talking about shortly, which might kind of be in a new form of Destroy shells where Headpool is going to excel. So I want to save some conversation for that there because it is an amazing card too.
What card is coming out the next week?
The next week, I believe, is going to be Colonel America. Colonel? Do you say that Colonel? Sorry, I'm not a military man.
Colonel.
That's Colonel America, right?
Yeah, Colonel Sanders, man. KFC. Come on now.
It's like colon L.
Put some respect on the herbs and spices secret recipe. By the way, I would say you said you gave it a 2. I think that's fair. I think 2.5 is where I would see that rolling out with Destroy. Probably more 2. I'd see that. Yeah. So essentially, yeah, Zombie Captain America. For those that can't see it and just listening, it's a 3/3 ongoing. Your other cards here have +1 power for each turn you've discarded a card. What's interesting to me is I thought I was going to see a lot more Hoard mechanics, but we're now on Destroy and now on a discard option, whereas the main Hoard thing is with Scarlet. But your other cards here have +1 power for each turn you've discarded a card. That's kind of cool. Do I want... But will that fit into the rotation that is discard?
Discard's going to be good, I think.
You think, well, discard's always been so stable. I mean, heck, dude, I did see that. I saw the thing that won the what they called it, the gauntlet. Wasn't it just like a base discard deck that won?
Yeah, it was a Khonshu deck. Yep.
Yeah, okay. That right there is the best marketing Snap could have ever asked for. Is the most basic discard deck. I guess Khonshu is a little bit different, but that's a win. This tournament is really good and healthy for the game.
It is, but the thing I'll mention here is that, like, if you first of all, there's going to be another card that activates discard as well. So do keep that in mind that Zombie Power Man is going to be another discard synergistic card. But if you think about this, it can give like +6 power to each card at its location. Imagine what that does to swarms. Like you could discard swarms, right? And then what happens is you play them on the zombie cap here, and they're all going to get the pluses. Plus, and I don't want to jump ahead, but the Zombie Power Man does do a discard at the end of each turn if you're winning a location. So imagine it's Viv Vision, except end of turn proc. That means that on curve, you can play these two, and Zombie Cap here is going to get +1s every single time you win that location. The two are going to be highly synergistic together, and there's even another deck I don't want to get into yet. I want to kind of talk about a little later, where they could potentially be played together in a non-traditional discard. So I do think this card's going to output quite a bit of power. I'm leaning like a 4-star rating here, just because I think that you can't lie what the stats look like. And the other thing that's worth mentioning is more than ever, not just with the inclusion of Zombie Power Man, but now more than ever, we have way more tools to our disposal on discard. Yeah. Literally every single turn you have targeted discard. And when I saw this Colonel America, it made me wonder, like, oh, is this the reason why they actually nerfed Colleen Wing? Were they getting ahead of this? Because there's so much targeted discard where you can just feast on every single turn. And so, like, I suspect this is going to be a pretty damn good card.
That sounds, I mean, flavor-wise, they nailed the decks, like it being the Captain America card, calling back to the other Captain America card, but also being the zombie of discard and kind of getting it, like, that's just a cool, shout out to them design-wise, like the card a ton. And I do, I think it fits the mold of discard really well, especially compared to Destroy when we talk about Headpool and what this does curve-wise. The thing with discard, I just feel like no matter what cards come out, it's just always worse than just like the main package of discard. Like, usually. I guess Khonshu being the difference, but That, like, I think it'll do great, but will it outbeat how well discard's doing at the moment?
And that's kind of one of the questions you always ask yourself, right? Like, can a card elevate an archetype to a point where it's a legitimate inclusion? The thing I'll say about this particular card is that, like, the Khonshu style decks and all those types of, like, dependable discard, they're not running swarms. And I suspect that a new version of discard running swarms could be potentially really cool with Colonel America. So that's kind of where my head's at, and that's the kind of deck I'm trying to create around this card.
Okay. I don't even, and you keep talking about Superpower Man. We'll get to him. What's the next one after?
The next one, I believe, is going to be Zombie Mr. Fantastic, because, you know, we needed another Mr. Fanta in the game.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to, by the way, give the Captain America one a 3.5. More in its long tenure as well.
Okay.
Is that you gave a small chuckle. Is that like way off?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on it. I just chuckled because, like, I forgot I had to keep writing down all your star
you're
ratings.
fine.
So
Don't worry about it.
Catch up.
Mr. Fantastic 2-2. So the version that came out for like a hot minute in July, but on reveal, Hoard +2. Okay, so we have another Hoard card. Hoard +2, activate, give 4 of your created cards +1 power. Huh. Hoard +2.
This is really fascinating because it's the first card that has both on reveal and activate on it.
Yeah, what the hell? And why is this just not pretty good? You have a 2-2, which is essentially a 2-4 split across 2, but you're getting the Hoard started. You could also play that with Scarlet Witch, so you're building that up. Well, no, I guess that's on the next curve line, so it depends when you play it. And then the activate's good too, because you can wait for when you have the created cards. I don't know, I think this is pretty damn good.
So this is a card that I'm more unsure of than some of the others. So stats-wise, it looks like it's going to be incredible stats, right? You got the 2-2, then +2 on Hoard. And again, if you don't have a Hoard out, it's going to create a Hoard. Like, it's going to create one for you, which is kind of cool. And the nice thing about this is that you can, knowing that, let's say there's a Death Domain or there's a Sanctum Sanctorum or whatever. You can position your cards in a way where you can take a shot. You play Zombie Mr. Fantastic, and you're taking a shot at setting the Hoard up into the location you can't access, which I think is kind of cool. The one thing I'll say is I think that the activate, give 4 of your created cards +1 power, is a bit tricky. Now, first of all, your Hoard is going to be a created card, so the Hoard's going to get +1. But it's not 4 separate instances of +1. It's 4 separate cards. So it's not like you're going to get +4 on the Hoard. If you don't have many created cards, he's only doing +1 or +2. So I think that the on reveal kind of carries more weight here than the activate. The activate, I think, will likely in Hoard-based shells only give +1 to the Hoard and maybe one other +1. It still ultimately is going to be good stats. It seems like a really straight up, fair,
but it's a vehicle,
strong card.
It's a vehicle card, though, too, in the sense of, like, it's going to fuel the Hoard in what it's doing. So even looking at it at a 2-4 base, but you also have it being a Hoard card, I feel like is why it's going to be pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, stat-wise, it's fine, but a Hoard card is what you're going to want to do ultimately. And I don't even know what the other Hoard cards are, but that's just my guess, at least how it would be in other, archetypes, per se.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair assessment for sure. And that's why I think, like, its floor is going to be probably a 3 and its upward ceiling is going to be a 4, just because it kind of does exactly what you want to do this season. But what I'm saying is I really think that the activate's the weaker of the two texts here. I don't think you're going to often get +4s. You know what I mean?
It's just a bonus. Yeah. I would agree. I think, it's definitely just getting the Hoard out there for +2 on turn 2 if you need to, and then also, have some power to boot. What would be? I'm going to give it a 4. I'll lean towards a 4 on that one. What's the next card coming out?
It's Zombie Captain Marvel is going to be the next card that comes out. It's this. So this one here is where I'm going to take a bit of a chance here. I'm giving this a 5.
Okay, let me read it.
I think this card is very good. Go ahead.
This is for the viewers and myself. I had no idea. I was looking at the art actually because it's so dope. It looks like Super SS2 Goku. 4/4. I swear, is this on when he's going against Frieza? 4/4. Activate. Destroy your other cards here to get +3 power for each. Move to a location you're moving after you activate it. What? You're losing. So you're essentially popping up a potential. So like the game ends, you activate it, you destroy some other. I mean, you could do it before game end, whatever, to destroy the card. You gain +3 power on top of that, plus all destroyed cards that want to be destroyed are feasting anyway, and or stuff you want to just get rid of, anti-junk, whatever. and then it also moves to a location to benefit you. Yeah, this is pretty cracked, bro.
I think this is a fantastic card.
Yeah, it's very good.
I think it's so good. Like, you have a tremendous amount of power moving. Think about like destroying Wolverines and stuff. Those cards are gaining power, bouncing around. You might even be able to get rid of something like a Hood that's there. Like, there's cards you want to destroy, right? You're destroying the Hood. You're taking that 3 power off. You're adding 3 power to Zombie Cap, making a move. It's not the text is not quite as good as the standard Cap, or in the sense of like Cap's going to actively try to make it so you win. This is moving to a location that you're losing, so theoretically it could still generate a victory for you. I just think this is an incredibly powerful destroy card. Like, I think that this might be one of the cards where suddenly Headpool starts to make sense. Where a new type of archetype where you're actively destroying cards more often. Even something like Sabretooth is pretty legit here, right? The only thing is you'd want to destroy Sabretooth prior to the end of the game so that you could actually play it down, right? You're not destroying this and let it go to your hand for what?
This is a crack card, bro. This is just a very good card. The fact that it destroys everything on activate, like, I guess, yeah, playing it late's the only con, but like, you play that on curve, dude. Even Nimrod, like, dude, there's so many things that you just destroy everything, get the benefits from it, also get the benefit of every card you're destroying is adding that much power. Even if it did what it did and it wasn't for each card you get +3, even if it was just a 1+3 and it goes to a 4/7, it's still like good use out of it. That's crazy. This is solid.
The other thing I was thinking about too is like, it's really a good anti-clog card. Like, imagine getting like Savage Lands or the Shadow Realm or whatever it is. The little ninja pops out -2. You get squirrels thrown out everywhere. Like, you get so many locations that clog you, and this can clear those locations and gain +3 for doing it. Like, it's basically like a mega charged Carnage that you get to activate and control.
Yeah, I like this one for sure. I think a 5 is a fair assessment, at least with how it's going to fit into what a lot of it works. I like it. I dig it. I back it up. Next card that comes out?
Yeah. Next card that comes out is Zombie Galactus.
Oh, boy.
The 7/4 that reads, start of game, choose 6 other cards in your deck. On reveal, transform those cards into copies of this.
Whoa, wait. Yes. Wholly new mechanic. Forget this card. Like, cool. Great. That means they built the tech into the game that's going to allow you to start choosing things when you start the game. That's kind of... Wait, start of the game, choose 6 other cards. So it's going to... Essentially what, just pop up your whole deck and you select them?
No. So you're not actively choosing. I believe it just chooses 6 automatically.
Damn.
So as you draw them,
the way it gave agency, I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay. That makes some more sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I think the way it works is as you draw them, they're like kind of glowing with like a zombie, like fart stench.
So the game, choose 6 other cards in your deck. On reveal, transform those cards into copies of this. Interesting.
So this card, I'm prepared to talk a lot about.
Yeah.
This is something that I am super, super excited for. And actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to reveal this or not, but I whatever, I will. If this is what takes me out, it's what takes me out. I'm actually the one who's going to be doing the official second dinner video for
who gives a damn?
Galactus.
Like, what is that? Why would that matter if you say that early? That's cool. Okay.
I get fired. But anyways, long story short, I'll be doing the video for Zombie Galactus, so look out for that. So because of that, I've been spending a lot of time theory crafting with this card already. Part of the reason for that is because you would know this. We have to submit those videos like way in advance because they go through approval processes and all that type of stuff. I don't like produce it the day before and give it to second. Like, here you go, man. It's like a big process. So as a result, I've had to really cook early with this particular card. And so when I was cooking early, a couple things really came to mind. First of all, it should stand out to you that it's a 4/7 or a 7/4. The fact that it's 7 energy, I think, gives you a couple hints as to where this is going to be best be played. I know that most people are going to be thinking about, okay, this is obviously a buff card. You're going to put it in Chava's decks with Phastos, Galacta, and Gwenpool and stuff like that. And then you're going to try to play Luna Snow. You're going to try and ramp it out and replace the cards and all. I think that's wrong. I think that actually it's going to be the wrong way to approach this particular card. I'll explain why. If you're playing that way, which is, I believe, what most people are going to think about doing, what you're actually doing is potentially erasing the progress you're making. Because if you're buffing or hitting with a Gwenpool like a Mr. Sinister or a Brood or whatever is in those decks, if Zombie Galactus is not the one that is surpassing those buffs, you actually have a chance of degrading your cards based on playing him at all. Plus, you're going to be relying on Magic or Luna Snow or whatever to ramp him out on turn 7. So I've been giving so much thought to this, and I really don't think that that's the way to play him. However, when you look at the rest of the cards being released this season, I think that there's a deck where this card is really going to shine which makes it for me a 4.5 to near 5-star card. It's going to be one specific shell, and we've already talked about it already, and it's discard, specifically Khonshu.
Okay.
Because if you think about the way this is going to be played, right? What you do is when this card reveals, the power that it has is going to be applied to the cards that you are replacing. Therefore, when Khonshu brings it back, depending on how many times you discard it, it's going to get the benefit of the Khonshu additional power. Because of this, all you have to really do is you have to get the cards that are kind of zombified, and they're going to be glowing, so you'll know which ones are the ones to be discarded. All you got to do is get those on the field of play. So something like a Wolverine, an X23, those are cards, or Proxima Midnight. Those could very well be one of the 6 cards that'll transform for Zombie Galacti. So your 1/2 X23, you discard it from your hand with, whatever you want to discard it with, whether it's whether it's MODOK, or whether it's Swordmaster or Blade, or whatever you want to do. You discard them. They go onto the field of play, and they're glowing. They're waiting for you to basically bring them back as Zombie Galacti. Because then what you do is you use Lady Sif or MODOK, you get rid of Zombie Galacti, and you design the deck in such a fashion that everything that wants to be discarded either goes back to your hand and doesn't hit the discard pile, or directly onto the field of play. So this is where something like Swarms will come in, because it won't go to the Khonshu discard pile. And then so what you then do is on turn 6, you play the Khonshu. Zombie Galacti will come back with the power that has been applied by Khonshu, and it's therefore going to change all those X23s, the Wolverines and everything, all to the amped up power. And when I was thinking about this, I was thinking this is probably the way to play it. And it's not coincidence, because we have multiple cards this season that are discard synergistic, including Zombie Power Man and Colonel America, both of which could very well be in this particular type of deck. So that is my take. And again, I've been thinking a lot about this card, because I have to be prepared to make the video for it. And so I've been already brainstorming a whole bunch of stuff. And I do really think that Khonshu specifically is going to be an excellent spot for Zombie Galacti. And I think one of the key hints to that was the fact that this thing is 7 power, which is the same reason why in Hella decks you would play like a Death or something, or a Scar, because you knew Lady Sif would hit that. And it's the same thing for Zombie Galacti.
Thank God we have you, because there's no way I would have cooked that up on the show like this quickly. Not even a shot. And so, a very interesting and awesome breakdown, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it definitely seems really cool and fun at the same time, too. Like, it definitely seems like any deck we have this like mini objective while you have the main one is really, really cool. Does the half nature scare you at all, being 6 of the cards in your deck and only getting a few of those, or is it just so strong if you do get the line that it doesn't matter?
It definitely is concerning, and it might be the thing that actually, so in my early designs, it cuts Colonel America out, because that card is an ongoing that you want to have the effect that it has, right? The problem is, if it turns into a Zombie Galacti, it loses the ongoing. However, something like a Zombie Power Man, which is just an activator to end a turn, you don't mind losing that, because it's already done its thing, right? It's already done the thing you need it to. It can just gain the power you need from the Zombie Galacti. And also consider the fact that you're not just changing all those cards on the field of play to the Zombie Galacti. You're still playing Khonshu down, which is a bigger card on turn 6, and you're adding the Zombie Galacti itself to one of the other locations. So you're naturally attacking 2 locations and then flipping the board state with additional power. I think it's a pretty legit thing, but there's one card that completely takes a massive diarrhea dump on this, and it's Stardust. Stardust absolutely ruins this, right? So I think that that's going to be one of the major turnoff valves. So if you're playing Zombie Galacti Khonshu, and then somebody snaps on you turn 6 and they have initiative, get out, man, because they're gonna Stardust your butt, and it's gonna feel rough.
I will definitely be trying that deck, because it just sounds like a good time, man. You keep talking about Superpower Man. We have 3 left, it looks like. Who is next?
Next, so I think that's the last calendar release. We have 2 Series 4 cards coming out on October 7th, and that is Zombie Giant Man and Zombie Power Man at the same time, and the last 2 are related to the limited time game mode. So you can bring up Zombie, let's do Power Man. Let's talk Power Man. We've talked about him so many times now. Oh, you already put Giant Man on the screen?
Okay, I did, and I haven't read him though. So Giant Man's a 5/3 on reveal, Hoard +1. Then this gains power equal to your Zombie Hoard. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's fun. That you can get some. So this is a scaling card forever, as they do Hordes. I don't know how much they'll do Hordes outside of October, but you got that going for you. And it seems like, well, you gain the power, gains power equal to the zombie. I don't know. This seems pretty good.
The way I'm reading this, like, I think it's going to be relatively easy to get zombie hordes to like 10 power. Keep in mind, this is also give +1 and then add the power. And it's not setting the power. So the way this reads to me is that it's 5/3. If your horde's 10, you're adding 1, which is now 11, and then you go 3 + 11. This card's a 5/14. It feels potentially very powerful. I think that it's going to be a solid addition to the decks. It's going to be one of the closers you could apply. I wonder how it'll play. Like if you played on the zombie Scarlet Witch, if you kind of double dip, the zombie Scarlet Witch do +2, then this +1, and then you copy the power.
That would make sense. I think that's the first line I was thinking of, and because of that, I think that's the route they'll go. I think that makes sense. It goes then, which is, I think so. You would think so, and if that's the case, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, and like the thing I think is going to be challenging is you're probably going to want to protect the zombie horde with something like a Cosmo because it's going to be so susceptible to so much. In fact, here's the thing. I should have mentioned this before. Because, yes, Cosmo will protect you from Shang-Chi. It'll protect you from Shadow King. But it won't protect you from Cobra. We should have brought this up. I think Cobra might be an actual good card this season. Like, I'm not joking.
I've been gone
because
too
Cobra's
long.
going to destroy a created card. And the zombie is going to... You're going to see the horde. And if they're playing zombie hordes, it's going to be right there. And it's going to be key to their strategy. And you just play Cobra down and you just knock it out. And that'll go through Cosmo.
So as that the horde takes over in his meta, Cobra shines.
Yeah, no, seriously, it will.
At least this month. And then like we'll see how long the horde style lasts. Because then if it's too random and we don't know how long it's getting played, it's not worth putting them in the deck kind of thing. But for now, yeah, that's crazy, dude. Would have never guessed the comeback of Cobra.
Yeah, Cobra is going to be probably legitimate here. And I do think that Zombie Giant Man's good. I'm going to guess it's like a 3.5 4-star card.
Okay.
Especially since it's non-reveal, you can consider like something like an Abs Man with it. If you want to close it out on turn 6. I'm just trying to figure out like if you Abs Man, like what do you do to protect your horde on turn 6 with initiative? I don't know. I'm still figuring out some decks. We're still pretty far ahead. So
next up we have 2/4 Zombie Power Man. I've heard this name 1,000 times today. I have not known what what he does. Now I do. End of turn. If you're winning here, discard the leftmost card from your hand. Ah, okay. Wow. End of turn. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Okay. I read that as a one-time effect for a second, and then I'm like, wait a second. He can just keep doing that.
Keep doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's why Colonel America makes a lot of sense.
That makes me
this
like
can activate
America more
every
too.
turn, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And that's why like part of the idea around Galactus was that like this is the type of card where if you can consistently contest a location, you're gonna pump through your hand. Like you're just gonna discard the X-23s, the Wolverines, the Proximas. You're just gonna pump through your hand. And if you hit the Khonshu, it goes to the right. You know what I mean? It'll jump to the right, whereas everything else is hitting the field of play and whatever. So I do think there's a lot of opportunity for Zombie Power Man to legitimately be a high impact card in that archetype because it just enables so much for you. And I was even thinking like, do you play something like a Viv Vision? Like, do you play a Viv Vision on top of this, right? And then, I mean, you might be in a situation where you discard it or whatever, but if you don't, you play the Viv Vision on top, and now you're contesting that location, you're buffing Khonshu with the Viv Vision while also discarding things as well. I don't know, it might be a little too greedy. I'm trying to still cook a little bit, but I think the Zombie Power Man could potentially be a very interesting card, and yeah, I wouldn't sleep on this at all. It's good.
Yeah, seems good. Discard is getting a lot of love this month. My gosh.
And the other thing worth noting here is it's a 2/4, and it's winning the location, right? So that's a really premier stat line. If you think about the OG Viv Vision, it came out as a 3/2, which is an understated stat line. This is a premier stat line at 2/4. So it's going to be way more capable of just winning its location on turn 2, just on its own stats alone.
Yeah, this definitely seems like a good card that you can just play if you like discard as well. Like it's a couple of these, I see what you mean. Like they feed into each other, but some of these are independent good as well. As we go into Zombie Century, 3/4 on reveal, Hoard +1 for each of your cards at the right location. On reveal, Hoard +1 for each of your cards. Huh. Okay. Well, you just have the whole, if the Hoard is already out there on the right, then you get that. And then as you build into it, so I guess you can game plan that into, you play Scarlet out. So this just seems directly off not directly off the season pass, but this is one of those that just get way better off that.
Yeah, it definitely does, and it's wholly dependent on the Horde, right? The one thing that I was thinking about with this particular card is I think it might be amongst the weaker, which makes sense because I think the two limited time game mode cards are going to be the weaker of the cards. However, I still think it's going to be good in this particular archetype, but very, very niche and just applied here, obviously, and I think that's to be expected.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, though, is statistically, it could put up a lot of power. It also doesn't have the downside of something like the Void, which was the original Sentry. Like, this is a net positive no matter how you spin it. And at 3/4, it does not have much downside, honestly. And you can probably get pretty used to just playing your Zombie Scarlet Witch on the right side and then filling it with stuff and then playing Zombie Sentry. I just don't know if it'll count itself when you play it.
I have to ask, do any of the like re-triggering on reveal cards seem more appealing to you with all these Horde on reveals?
Like a Wong?
Yeah, Wong. There's multiple now at this point, right? Any of them?
You know what? I would definitely say no. The reason why I would say this is because from my understanding and what I've kind of tried to poke around and doing a little bit of number crunching, I think that it's relatively easy to get a Horde above 10 power. Like, I think that it actually might be detrimental to your game plan to go so all in on the Horde that it becomes like, oh, it got Shungered or it got Shadow Kinged and my whole game plan died. I think that like going all in on Horde is probably going to put up a lot of power, but until you get Giant Man where you can get that power and apply it somewhere else, it represents a risk.
So no Grandmaster.
I don't know, maybe, but I'm just saying that
cool.
like you're asking to get Cobra'd, right?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Just thought I would throw my food for thought. The last one I have on here is the Hunger.
Yeah, so it just does on reveal Horde plus 3.
I was just going to ask this. Well, this is good. This is you definitely want this. Yeah. I was just going to ask if there's a 1-cost card. So you just get the Horde going.
There is. No, but one thing that it's hard to, you can't really tell here because the graphic you pulled, I guess, is out of date. It's a skill card. So it's like a Merlin skill or like a Agamotto skill. So it doesn't stay on the field of play. It'll disappear.
That's fine. It's still a 1/3 and the Horde's getting started, though. So I think that's good for the engine of just getting things rolling.
It is, and it doesn't occupy space, which is beneficial, but not in the case of something like a Zombie Sentry, which is you want to occupy space, I guess. I wonder if this ever makes a 12-card list. Like, for me, Zombie Sentry and Hunger, like, I'm giving a 2-star just because I think they're very niche and they might be unnecessary ultimately for the Horde. This is probably okay. Now, this will go well on the Scarlet Witch because it'll proc the Scarlet Witch, do the +3, and then disappear, allowing you to play more on the Scarlet Witch, which is kind of cool. That gives it some upside. But the decks are tricky, man. I don't know. You only have 12
like there's
cards.
only so many Horde cards, though, and I feel like as a 1 that's going to feed the rest of them, you just have that in there for just because of the limited options.
Yeah, and that's fair, but at the same time, like I mentioned prior, like I wonder if going all in on Horde is actually going to be detrimental for you.
Yeah.
Like if you only commit to the Horde and then on turn 5 they play Cobra, like you're just cooked.
So what do you feel
just cooked.
this card ends up at?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I said like 2-3 range for these cards. I just think they're super niche. They'll do really well with Horde, but like there's going to be counters, man. People are going to know that the Horde is going to be something worth destroying. And also, I'm not sure what the cost of the Horde is. Like, is it a 1 cost? Like, can it get Killmongered? I doubt it can be Killmongered. I don't know what the actual cost value is now that I think
when it was pulled, it's a 0, technically.
Is it? It's 0? Okay. Well, we'll have to see, because that might change a couple things as well.
If it's a 1,
I doubt it's a 1
awful.
cost.
Yeah, I don't think it's a 1, which makes me think it's a 0, because then what else would it be at that point, right? Or does it grow with that number kind of thing?
Or maybe it has no cost. That would be a good idea because you have cards with no power and skills.
I can see that too. All right, man. So that's the season as a whole, and I like it. I think it's a really cool mechanic. It's really fun. I do agree. Scarlet Witch, now that we've read all of them, is super important. My God. And if you plan on playing anything but discard, it's a must.
Yeah, and specifically, like I do think that like there's a lot of tech cards that can disrupt this game. And you can kind of see how like they tried to come in thematically with this particular season. I think they've done that well. But with Stardust and Cobra and stuff like that, I think they've done a lot to try to figure out like what tech cards could be the release valves here. But I think they also were sure to make this a powerful season because you're looking at cards that generally are very highly statted. There's some downside risk to cards like Zombie Galactus. There's some downside risk to cards like Zombie Power Man and Colonel America and all those things. There's downside risk to these cards, but the upside is undeniable. And I think that the Hoard mechanic itself is going to produce like massive power points. Like I guarantee it's going to be over 10 almost every game. And it's going to be relatively easy to do that. Scarlet Witch is going to just naturally do +2 every time you play on top of it. You do Scarlet Witch plus Mr. Fantastic on top of that. It's already, what, 6? Just there, right there. 2 cards. Not even on curve. You know what I mean? So it's going to be relatively easy to get Hordes to stupid numbers, which is why I think Giant, the Zombie Giant Man or whatever, is probably going to be potentially like a much larger card as a Series 4 than people realize. It's going to be a big slam.
I'm going to... Alex is going to monologue to you guys for 40 seconds. I got 3 calls from the wife, so I had to go look at that. Alex, talk to everybody. Say your piece.
I mean, you could have just edited this out instead of putting me in the most awkward situation possible. I just have to talk for 40 seconds. Anyways, I guess for rankings, I don't know if Cozy wants to do this with me. Should I just talk about final rankings here? This is actually kind of fun, by the way. Catching up Cozy is a ton of fun. By the way, like I think that it's like it's cool and it's genuine reactions, which I actually really appreciate because it makes the podcast more fun, which I think is what we're after at the end of the day. If I'm gonna do the rankings,
okay, I'm
gonna say. Ranking wise, do we want to start at the top or the bottom? Do you want to just hear my rankings? Are you prepared with rankings?
My wife just got peed on. So that was my update. Yes, ranking wise, yeah, I can track. Number 1. Yeah. So are we starting at the top or the bottom?
Maybe it's easier if we start at the top. So okay. Top wise, I'm gonna go Zombie Captain Marvel, number 1.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just tough to be as far as where it's going to plug into the best. Although Power Man is hella good too. But yeah, okay. Captain Marvel. Okay, yep.
I'm going to go with Zombie Galactus number 2. If the discard synergy works as I expect, if it doesn't and the buff route is going to be the preferred way, I think this card drops hard. I'm expecting the discard to be the way to play it.
Long term, I'm going to go Zombie Power Man.
Okay, cool. Zombie Power Man. Number 3, I'm going Zombie Scarlet Witch because I think it's the cornerstone of the season.
I agree. Yeah, and that one you could place like, no, yeah, you could place that 1 as well, Alex, because of the impact. I think of the Hoard deck, but I'm trying to think of. We always try to think of standalone value. I think as well, right? So
yes,
I just feel like having a win here card for discard to continue an engine is too crazy for that archetype. At least how I'm seeing it. That's why I've got that so high. So okay, I'll join you at 3 there. Number 4.
Number 4 for me is Zombie Giant Man, and I think just because those Hordes are going to be so big, and this card's going to take advantage of that nonstop. I think the Zombie Power Man is going to put up serious points.
What am I?
No, Zombie Giant Man, not Power Man. I meant Zombie Giant Man.
What am I reading here? What is this?
That's Wolverine, sir.
Oh, there's like a special edition one.
Oh, is it signed?
I don't know. That's what it was in the files, I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I just saw that now. Okay, sorry. What was your 4?
My 4, which I think I said the wrong name for, was Zombie Giant Man. Because I think the Horde is going to be so big that copying that power and putting it on another spot, it gives you a lot of opportunities to dodge the tech.
You don't like Power Man.
I do. He's next. Relax.
Relax. I'll go Giant Man next.
Cool. And then it's Zombie Power Man for me. And for what it's worth, I think Zombie Power Man's a good card. And the reason why it's 5 is just because I think Cap Marvel's insane. I think Galactus has incredibly high potential. And then I think Zombie Scarlet Witch is the cornerstone. And then I think Giant Man is going to be how you finish games with these Horde cards. And then naturally Power Man has to fall to 5th.
I'm going to go Galactus next. I feel like it'll end up more on the fun side. I don't know, though. It could be cool. I see like your play line and what you're saying, but I see it more fun than like because of its limitations. That's why I'm going to have it. Although I do like it a lot. What's your next one?
My next one is going to be number 6, Colonel America.
Number 6 for me, I'm going to roll with Zombie Mr. Fantastic. I think...
I want it to be known that I'm still not sure if I'm saying Colonel right.
No, you are.
I am?
Yeah, you are. You're saying it right. Like a
but
popcorn.
There's no R.
Like colonial. It's not colonial. Okay, I would go... Actually, yeah, I think I'll join you there. I'm going to go with that, and then I'll go into Fantastic after that.
Yeah, that's where I have Mr. Fantastic at number 7.
Okay. And then it's between what, the Hunger and Sentry and Headpool is who we haven't ranked. Ooh. I'm going to go Hunger here.
I went Headpool at 8.
Okay. I'll do Headpool and then in on Sentry. So I do agree with you. Sentry does end up being the worst of the month.
Yeah, so I go Headpool, Zombie Sentry, and I'm going Hunger as the worst of the month.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I feel like the Hoard thing will end up being needed, but you're right. We could end up getting the Hoard very fast and easy. But I feel like for what the archetype wants as a 1, it's good because it's a 1/3 technically, but it's a skill card, so I guess not. I like it. I'm going to go with that. It's the Series 4, though, yeah?
The Hunger?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the limited time game mode card, so it's free.
Oh, damn. I didn't know it had the buff of limited time game mode on it. Or the nerf, not the buff. So that's our rankings for October. Good stuff, man. I think it's a cool month. That definitely sounds like a fun month. Cool. Glad I'm not missing that month. I will definitely be returning even to casual play for sure. I can't wait for it, and just didn't get to play any of it. But as we transition, we have our Snapchat mailbag, hour and a half here. Love it, man. Wife hates me, but I'm having a great time, man. Let's kick off some Snapchat. Is there even questions for my arrival since it's unexpected?
So we do have one question specifically for you that you were deemed to be the person to have to answer.
Okay.
And it's the comments from Nina is Noob, ironically, who's the guest last week, and it reads, "Can someone explain Step On Me Mommy to Alex, please?" And then Logan responded, "Oh God, let's save that job for Cozy." Cozy, what does Step On Me Mommy mean?
Can I ask a quick follow-up? First of all, I feel like this is my son asking me in 6th grade, hey Dad, I heard this term today, especially the way you just phrased it. Can you at least paint the path of how we got here? Like how
I'm not even sure how we got here, man.
So this wasn't in Nina's episode with you?
No, it was. So I said that, so if you bring up, it wasn't Hella. Who's the Hella lookalike? I can't remember her name. Morgan Le Fay. Bring up Morgan Le Fay. So Morgan Le Fay has like a look, like that voluptuous look.
Yep.
And then I said that like last week that she's one of the cards I've been like trying to cook around, but I've never been able to figure out a good deck for it. And then Nina was looking at it. She says, she has Step On Me Mommy energy. And I was like, what?
It's like
cannot compute?
Okay, so I feel like it could be in 2 different ways. Okay, so you have one way, which is kind of like Giga Chad in a sense, like just like how like who else would I say has Step On? Like Scarlet Witch definitely has Step On Me moments, you know, just like a sexy power, you know, like sexy powerful, like I'd let you step on me, like crush me, you know, go for it. But also you got a little like submissiveness, like sexiness that you could play into it. You know, people call Emma mother, you know. And it's not because she'd be a good mom, Alex.
Okay, this is making more sense.
Is it you connecting the dots? I mean, the word anytime you hear, it's kind of, you know, when you hear someone say daddy and they're over the age of 21, 18, you're like, why are they saying daddy? You know what I mean? And you know, you can
never thought of that.
Yeah.
Now I think you're ruining that for me.
Does your wife call you daddy or something?
No, she doesn't. I'm just my kids call me daddy.
Well, no, your kids can call you daddy.
Oh, they're allowed to now? I'm so confused. What's happening? So are people supposed to call me daddy or no?
No, I mean, if it floats your boat.
You were supposed to help me understand, Cozy.
Do you want to be called daddy?
You just created more questions.
Would it make you uncomfortable if your wife was like, "Daddy, what are we doing tonight?" I don't know. I can't answer that
what
question.
Are you talking about? I'm not your father. Call your dad.
Okay. There, we've answered the kink question for Alex. Now, mommy is there. There's, you know, I wouldn't call your wife mommy. I guess. I mean, I don't want to get into the bedroom of Alex Coach. You know what? We're going to move on. We're going to go in and let that close our show. And in fact, we know the true listeners of this show, if they made it through like very articulated October breakdown and we end with Step On Me Mommy, I really, you know, wait, we even have the mailbag, but I don't even care. There's more. How do we continue?
We really can't continue, unfortunately.
I'm like, I forgot we were even in the mailbag.
I'm questioning my whole life here.
That was great. I know more about Alex than I need to know. Well, guys, I can tell you, I'll definitely miss it here for a few more weeks as I get things together here. But excited for the future of it all, Alex. Again, just so appreciative of you. 3 years now, but continuing just to carry the flame of not just Snapchat but Snap, dude. I'll be honest. You know, from even the segments I'm seeing there. And as always, dude, just so much love for you guys, love for the viewers, and I'm thirsty to get back.
Yeah, listen, we all miss you. We do. But the amazing thing about Cozy Snap is that when you come back, my man, it's going to be like you never left because that's how talented you are. Looking forward to that day, my man. Looking forward to the day.
The only two people that call me Cozy Snap is you and Dexter, and I love it. Like, I've become cozy. It's just everyone, and it's always my full legal name, Alex. It's Cozy Snap, and it's same as Dexter says the same, and I'm like, it throws me off. It brings me back. I love it. It keeps me grounded. But guys, I want to say thank you so much for coming back a month later over here to my channel and entertaining us two dads goopers just hanging out and giving me a break from getting peed on while I'm changing a diaper here in the early days. But as always, guys, much love to you. Alex, love you. And till the next one, guys, happy snapping.